Think before you speak. Read before you think. In real life, I assure you, there is no such thing as algebra. A book is not supposed to be a mirror. It's supposed to be a door. There is no such thing as inner peace. There is only nervousness and death. Life is something that happens when you can't get to sleep. As a teenager, you are at the last stage in your life when you will be happy to hear that the phone is for you. The best fame is a writer's fame. It's enough to get a table at a good restaurant, but not enough to get you interrupted when you eat. I love sleep because it is both pleasant and safe to use. Pleasant because one is in the best possible company, and safe because sleep is the consummate protection against the unseemliness that is the invariable consequence of being awake. What you don't know won't hurt you. Sleep is death without the responsibility. Romantic love is mental illness. But it's a pleasurable one. It's a drug. It distorts reality, and that's the point of it. It would be impossible to fall in love with someone that you really saw. The opposite of talking isn't listening. The opposite of talking is waiting. Your life story would not make a good book. Don't even try. When you leave New York, you are astonished at how clean the rest of the world is. Clean is not enough. All God's children are not beautiful. Most of God's children are, in fact, barely presentable. I believe in talking behind people's backs. That way, they hear it more than once. To lose yourself in a book is the desire of the bookworm. I mean to be taken. That is my desire. Great people talk about ideas, average people talk about things, and small people talk about wine. I prefer dead writers because you don't run into them at parties. Success didn't spoil me. I've always been insufferable. If you are a dog and your owner suggests that you wear a sweater, suggest that he wear a tail. All the time I'm not writing, I feel like a criminal. It's horrible to feel felonious every second of the day. It's much more relaxing to actually write. Ask your child what he wants for dinner only if he's buying. I write so slowly, I could write with my own blood and not hurt myself. If your sexual fantasies were truly of interest to others, they would no longer be fantasies. If you are of the opinion that the contemplation of suicide is sufficient evidence of a poetic nature, do not forget that actions speak louder than words. Now, nature, as I am only too aware, has her enthusiasts, but on a whole, I am not to be counted among them. To put it bluntly, I am not the type who wants to go back to the land, I am the type who wants to go back to the hotel. I must take issue with the term a mere child, for it has been my invariable experience that the company of a mere child is infinitely preferable to that of a mere adult. When Toni Morrison said write the book you want to read, she didn't mean everybody. When Toni Morrison said write the book you want to read, she didn't mean everybody. Original thought is like original sin, both happen before you were born to people you could not possibly have met. Original thought is like original sin, both happen before you were born to people you could not possibly have met. RIP, an acronym for Rest in Pleasure, is an organization for those deceased who feel for one reason or another that they are just not getting enough out of death. What, after all, is London to a man who thinks of the whole Middle East as just another bad neighborhood and the coast of South Africa as simply the beach? In other words, everybody talks about people but nobody ever does anything about them. The conversational overachiever is someone whose grasp exceeds his reach. This is possible but not attractive. Digital watch faces are in the shape of watch faces for no apparent reason. This cannot help but have an unsettling effect upon the young.